Hey, what's up? Okay, let's do it. Bloodborne is a 2015 action game with light RPG elements. It has you playing as a weird ass person who has an illness and they came to the city or town of Yarnham, whatever you want to pronounce it, to cure said illness, except that you have to have a whole ass blood transfusion. Also, the whole city of Yarnham is fucking addicted to blood. Like, they treat blood like alcohol or meth on some weird shit. So yeah, that's pretty weird. But to be fair, the blood does cure illnesses, but also causes some other shit as well to happen to you, which I will get into soon. So yeah, we wake up after getting the blood transfusion after getting unwantedly touched by these little men, but to be fair, they kinda saved us, so it's whatever, I guess. Anyways, we make our way downstairs only to find a werewolf. As a dog person, I thought I could pet it, but it ripped me to shreds and we basically got isekai'd into another world. Unfortunately, we don't have a harem or any cool ass abilities, but we do have access to some starter weapons: the saw cleaver, the pimp cane, and the hunter's axe. I chose the cleaver. Anyways, before I get back to the story, since we're speaking of weapons, let's talk about the combat for a little bit. The combat in this game is super great. It forces you to play more aggressively, especially compared to the other Souls games. And you know this because even the shield in this game is fucking useless. Now, you might be like, okay, then what are we supposed to use instead of a shield? Well, the game answered that question by giving you the most American option possible, even though this ain't America. I don't know. Fucking guns. Yeah, you heard that right. You got pistols, shotguns, flamethrowers, rifles, a Gatling gun, and a fucking cannon. And they kinda do shit damage compared to the other weapons, the melee weapons, which, to be fair, this place seems to be in the UK, so it's kinda understandable. Anyways, the guns are mainly used for parrying if you time your shots correctly. With a perfectly timed parry, you can thrust your hands into someone's guts and rip it out, making me wonder how the fuck that works. But anyways, fuck the guns, let's talk about the real star of the show, the transforming weapons. Yes, these weapons can actually do that. For example, you have this axe that can turn into a bigger axe, this sword that can turn into an even bigger sword, this sword that can turn into a great hammer, this hammer that blows shit up, and the best of all, this mace that can turn into a fucking chainsaw wheel thingy, I don't know, which is the coolest shit I've ever seen. No, there are way more weapons in the game to use, but those are some of my favorites. But let's continue with the story for now. After we get our weapons, we make our way back to the real world and get revenge by killing this dumbass wolf. Anyways, we make it to the center of the town and the people here are driven mad and wants to stab us and beat us to death, which definitely confirms this game is definitely set in the UK. The reason why they've gone mad is because they are infected with the beast plague, which comes from an overconsumption of blood, and remember, these people are addicted to blood, so yeah. Anyways, we make our way through the town and meet up with Father Gascoigne, who wants to kill us because he's gone mad too. You see, Gascoigne is a hunter like you, so fighting him is definitely no easy task. After defeating him, we make our way back to the dream and the doll that was there before that I somewhat forgot to mention. And yeah, she's now sentient and can level us up. And yeah, upstairs there's a creepy old guy in a wheelchair who happens to be the host of the dream. He also tells you you can basically fuck the doll if you want, which is what? Like what? Anyways, we pass the cemetery and go straight into a different part of Yarnham. We go to an old cathedral where this innocent looking woman on the ground is holding an amulet who definitely won't turn into an ugly, disgusting ass beast. Well, shit. Anyways, after defeating her, we see a weird looking skull and we touch it. After touching it, we see a vision of an old guy talking to a younger guy. This younger guy is Lawrence and this old guy is Willem. About, I don't know, they're talking about fearing. Willem is basically talking about fearing the old blood. Anyways, out of curiosity, we make our way out of the town and into the woods, where we run into a bunch of bitch ass enemies. Our main goal is to go to Bergenworth to find more secrets about old blood or whatever, I'm assuming, I don't know. But before we can go to Bergenworth school, we have to defeat 3 clansmen who doesn't want us to know their secrets, which is not really nice if you ask me. Like, let me in on the tea, come on bro. After defeating them, we go into the school and make our way up to the balcony where we meet the old guy from the vision. However, he seems like he can no longer talk and he keeps pointing down towards the lake. So yeah, like the dumbasses we are, we just jump straight in with no hesitation and we get transported into another dimension beyond the lake. And a somewhat terrifying yet cute spider thing is just chilling there. You see, this is where the game kind of has a midway twist where it's now going to be mostly about alien beasts and shit. and us discovering the truth behind all this shit, or whatever our main character's goal is. Because before we were just fighting hairy, nasty beasts, but now we just fighting fucking Lovecraftian aliens. It is so cool. Anyways, we defeat the spider, which by the way was a scholar at the school, and I think she's trying to hide the secrets of the aliens being in the world and stuff like that. And also, she now looks like that because she basically found a way to transform herself into a great one. Or maybe she was experimented on by Willem. I don't know. Anyways, after that, we defeated her, and then we saw some ugly ass lady looking up in the sky, and now the red moon is revealed to the world. Or at least Yarnham. I don't know. Look, bro, I'm not Vadi video. I'm just stating what I'm seeing, alright? Anyways, we get I keep saying anyways a lot, but please just bear with me. We get transported to Argul. I don't know why I said it like that. We get transported to the unseen village, where a lot of the people here seem to be a part of a cult or something. I mean, it's a secret village. It's most likely definitely a cult. We make our way downtown only to stumble upon a ritual, and this ritual was to give birth to a great one. Anyways, we kill the abomination and make our way inside the building behind it, where we touch some dead guy and get transported into another world, where this time, instead of a dream like we're used to, it's a nightmare. If I remember correctly, the nightmares in this game are like dream planes, similar to the Hunter's, well, you know, dream, but they're different because they have different roles. And I'm assuming, for example, this nightmare is hosted by Mikolash, which was the dead guy we touched to get here, and I'm assuming that he is in the nightmare to gain knowledge on ascension or whatever. But in a different nightmare called the Hunter's Nightmare, it seems more like a prison where I don't know, blood drunk or bloodlusted hunters get sent to. So yeah, by the alien cause. Or maybe the hunters that are there were just specific hunters that did terrible ass things to a certain, you know, fishing village, but that's for later. Let's continue. We make our way through the nightmare and defeat Mikolash, and then we go further and find the same lady from before looking up crying. Like, goddamn, that's all this bitch does, huh? Anyways, it turns out this lady is Queen Yarnham, and she's actually looking for a baby, which is an infant great one, and we are about to meet him. We make our way up to the baby, but it is unfortunately protected by his nanny, so we defeat her and get to him. After defeating her, Mergo is then, you know, gone, and we make our way back to the hunter's dream. But now the dream is on fire, and the cute ass doll tells us to talk to Gehrman, which is under the tree. But hold up, we can't do that just yet. We have a DLC we paid for. So something I forgot to mention is that after defeating Amelia, which, you know, was the big furry lady in the cathedral, after going back to the hunter's dream, we can get a Eye of a Blood Drunk Hunter, which is basically the key to the DLC. So anyways, we go back to Cathedral Ward and get kidnapped by this big ass Lovecraftian alien, and they gets transported into another world, which is basically an edgelord's version of the hunter's dream. After getting there, we realize that the place looks very similar but also very different from the real world Cathedral Ward, which makes sense since this, you know, is a nightmare version. Anyways, we make our way up to the cathedral and we see a sleeping fiery beast. However, it doesn't attack us, and we take an eye pendant that it had in its arms. After that, we make our way up and we meet up with an old hunter, now mutated and disfigured. His name is Ludwig. He basically became a sick beast trapped in the hunter's nightmare, most likely due to being too bloodlusted or whatever. It was said that Ludwig was one of the first healing church hunters, which by the way, they have like different types of hunters. There's like regular hunters, healing church hunters, all of that, but he was basically one of them, and he used to go on crusades killing all the people who had the beast plague. But it seemed like he enjoyed it a bit too much, or he was way too cruel. So I guess the reason why he, you know, got sent to this nightmare realm. Anyways, in his first phase, he seemed like a regular beast type enemy moving around all insane and crazy. However, his second phase is when he starts acting like a human once more. He took up his blade and now stands upright while mostly using his swords for attacks, which feels like it's him remembering who he once was, and now even if he's going to die, he would rather go out as a formidable swordsman hunter rather than an insane beast. I don't know, that's what I got from it at least. After killing him, you make your way up to defeat the two annoying ass enemies, then place the eye pendant that we stole from the fiery beast into this thing's head for some reason. Anyways, I keep saying anyways, I'm so sorry. We make our way up to Arkham Asylum, where the patients look like they have been experimented with. So the lore I know for this is that these people were definitely experimented on by the healing church as a way to gain knowledge or to ascend, I guess. But obviously most of these experiments seems to be a failure, which, speaking of failure, our next boss is the living failures. These guys aren't really too hard. They have basic attacks and some of them have projectile attacks. However, they do hit like a truck, and if you get caught in their meteorite attack move, it can probably one-shot you, I guess. However, hiding from the attack is that like meteorite move is pretty easy and simple. All you gotta do is stand behind the tree opposite from where the failures are looking at. So yeah. Anyways, after defeating them, we make our way to the Astral Clock Tower and meet Lady Maria. Now, from certain dialogues with one of the patients, we hear them talk about Maria as if she was like a really caring, loving person. Now, you might wonder, why did a person like this end up trapped in the nightmare? And remember, the hunters we see in the nightmare are only here because they were either filled with bloodlust or, you know, most of them are just here because of bloodlust. Well, it's because she and Gehrman, which was her master, accompanied by other hunters, went and massacred a fishing hamlet because they wanted to do experiments on the villagers and probably to kill a certain great one, which was Kos, who was there as well. Now, I don't think Gehrman was the one who initiated this, but was probably given an order by someone. Maybe, I don't know, Willem, or I don't even think it was, I don't know. I'm just assuming. Moving on, Lady Maria felt guilty for taking part in this massacre, and she threw away her blade in the well, and I think it's implied that she took her own life because of the guilt she felt. By the way, the doll from the dream is made to look like her. Anyways, we defeat her and head straight into the fishing village she was trying to hide from us. But wait, hold up. You see the elevator that we took where we had to put the eye pendant into the brain so we can go up, you know, that one? Well, there's a secret one under that elevator, and it basically has Lawrence's skull on it. And if you take Lawrence's skull and go back to where the fire beast was, you realize that, oh wait, that was actually Lawrence, and now you have a boss fight. If I'm gonna give a boss review, this boss is probably one of the worst bosses in the game. I genuinely don't like this fight. It is so annoying and boring. Making our way through the village, we find ourselves in a cave. Then exiting the cave, we step foot onto a beach shore with a dead alien creature on the ground giving birth to another creature. You see, that creature is called Kos, and she's basically created the hunter's nightmare, trapping all the hunters who killed her, the villagers, and also the other bloodthirsty hunters into the nightmare as well. We then fight Kos's newborn baby, which I'll be calling Orphan, cause that's his name, I think, I don't know. After defeating the orphan, we then finish the DLC, and I don't know if the nightmare is now broken, but whatever. We are back in the hunter's dream, and now we are going to meet up with Gehrman. But first, we need to collect 3 umbilical cords for a great one and eat them. Yes, eat them. So after collecting them and eating those nasty ass shit, we go to talk to Gehrman, which basically tells us we should go back to the real world and forget everything that happened in the night, which I kind of find weird. Not because of losing our memories or waking up or whatever and shit, but because this game basically takes place in one night. Like, what? Anyways, you're telling me we went from a nobody to an alien monster killing machine in one night? Whatever, man. Anyways, we obviously refuse Gehrman since we know too much, and this motherfucker really got up, basically fake being crippled and then start whooping our ass. We do come out on top, finally setting Gehrman free, and then we see the real menace behind everything, the moon presence. It comes down to grab us and give us a little kiss, but this is where the umbilical cords came in clutch, because we ate them, it basically repels the moon presence for some reason, and then we defeat it. After that, we for some reason turn into an infant great one who will possibly replace the moon presence. And that's the end of Bloodborne and its story. I hope you enjoyed the video, and yeah, that's it. I really enjoyed making this video. I don't know why. There's just I've always wanted to make a Bloodborne video, and you know, you can't be a Soulsborne YouTuber without making a dedicated Bloodborne video. So yeah, I really enjoyed doing this. So yeah, if you like the video, then like and subscribe. If you don't, then I mean, you don't have to. You can just, you know, do what you want, man. It is what it is. Anyways, that's it. See ya.